seeds from other stars, the wind brought to the land. Children of spacemen, spaceships high in the sky appear before men's eye. Are they fantasy?
That this new Earth was visited by beings from older planets. We'll look into that. But early on, 150 million years ago, in the Mesozoic era, dinosaurs roamed the Earth. They left petrified bones and tracks, and a mystery. In the Glen Rose River in Texas, near dinosaur tracks, what appears to be the print of a human-like foot. Strange, incredible, impossible. 2 feet long, the footprint of a giant. We know there were no giants, don't we? Yet, the 4th book of Moses says, "And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, who come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." Side by side, dinosaur prints, and prints that appear to be humanoid. Yet giant footprints like these have been found in South Africa, in China, and Java. We know little of giants. Look at them. What do we know of man? Is this the work of a primitive imagination? Or are they realistic interpretations of what they saw? The tribe of Aborigines whose ancestors made the drawings still live here in the Australian outback. Through their dancing and chanting, they tell a legend of the visit of a godlike creature, the story of Wandinja, goddess of the Milky Way. She came from outer space in her gleaming ship, brought wisdom and guidance, and then returned to the stars. Just to the north, in New Guinea, they tell of a flying god who has dominion over another Earth. These are some of their ritual masks. Deep in the Brazilian jungle, on the banks of the Rio Fresca, the Caiapós make their home. The borders of their world, this river and the jungle. Their lives today are as uncomplicated as those of their ancestors. Even today, the Caiapós chant this ancient legend. One day, Bep Coroti appeared in the village. He was dressed in a bow, which covered him from head to foot. On his head, he wore a kop, a thunder weapon. Some of the people tried to do battle with the intruder, but their weapons were too weak. Each time they touched Bep Coroti's clothing, they turned to dust. This warrior from outer space had to laugh at the fragility of these people who tried to fight him. To prove his strength to them, he took off his kop, his thunder weapon, pointed to a tree, and destroyed it. He lived among them for decades, and then left them forever. The foreigner wore a bow, the legend says. This suit, the ritual garment that Caiapós wear on their most sacred festivals, is still called a bow to this day. Strange. How did it evolve? Is it coincidence that this costume somehow is reminiscent of spacesuits worn by our astronauts? Yes, and even the way the dancer moves, like our astronauts walking on the moon. These pictures of a bow were taken in 1951. At that time, nobody knew, least of all the Caiapós, what spacesuits would subsequently look like. The first space flight around the Earth took place in 1961, 10 years after these pictures were made. In the ancient Mayan temple city of Palenque in Mexico, on this carved plaque appears a curious figure. To some, it appears to be a warrior. To others, an astronaut at an instrument panel. And in that same ancient Mayan city, these century-old scriptures with illustrations that confuse and confound us to this day, is that a portion of a costume or a piece of technical equipment we might recognize today? What are these figures? Who are they? Is that a headdress or a lamp? Further to the north, in the southwestern United States, I sought out a legend of the Hopi Indians. Today, the Hopis make their home in Arizona. Cliff dwellers, the Hopis were the only Indian tribe to build solid houses. And there are other differences. Their rock drawings of strange mechanized or stylized beings are far different from the drawings of other Indian tribes. Their legend tells of their wanderings as a tribe. They moved from island to island, and from there to the mainland. Whenever they left an island, it sank beneath the sea. Only a few Hopi warriors ever reached the mainland, and even they had lost all their weapons. It was then that strange creatures appeared out of the glowing sun. And these creatures brought them tools which were better than the ones they had used before.
Spaceships high in the sky appear before men's eye. Are they fantasy of men insane or foolish lie? Or a heaven planned by the Father of earthman? Children of spacemen.